Hello, hello, and welcome to the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
Hello out there. Welcome.
I'm going by Brandon Doge this week.
And tomorrow I'll be Woody.
Also today.
Yeah.
It is, speaking of today, it's Sunday, March 9th, 2017.
Yeah, episode number 55 here at Error by Trial Studios.
And as usual, we are brought to you guys by Cryptopia.
Head on over to cryptopia.co.nz to check them out. They're your one-stop crypto shop, which means pretty much what it sounds like.
Yeah, you can do pretty much anything you could imagine there. Not just an exchange, but they've got block explorers, forums, mining. This really big giveaway going down right now. It's the $1 million giveaway. I don't know if they've been claimed yet. I meant to check that. But
good point. I haven't checked either.
Well, there might still be a $1 million giveaway going on, so check that out. And yeah, they've really been getting a lot of attention this week, and it's well-earned. A lot of cool stuff going down at Cryptopia right now.
Yeah, and we have a thread over there in their forum under the altcoin section, and we like getting messages there. If there's something you'd like to hear about on the show, or if you just want to say hello, head over there, say hi, and we'll hook you up with some DOT.
Yep, DOT's, of course, Cryptopia's native coin. We got plenty of those to pass around, so definitely stop by the thread, and we'll send some your way.
We'll also give some away later in the show.
Yep, we're doing another 20,000 DOT giveaway later in the show. It's just a trivia question, and then you can win some dots.
Cool. So let's move straight into the content.
Yep, we love that news. Going to start it off with news this week. I mean, really kind of tough not to start off with the news this week because this has got to be one of the biggest weeks in crypto history, man.
Yeah, really amazing volume and volatility and drama. It's got it all.
Yep, and we'll get to it all in time.
I guess we'll start off with a little Shadow Cash coin swap news.
That's right, Shadow Cash, an interesting anon coin, sometimes under the radar, sometimes in your face. But Shadow Cash has been around for a long time. They are doing a coin swap and an ICO.
Yeah, they're changing their name to Particle. They've always been working on some sort of darknet. That's been kind of the underlying theme of this coin for a while. And it was called Umbra until just the other day when their announcement was, nope, it's not like maybe they were going to release that. Might have been what somebody was thinking. But no, they're not going to release that. Mm-hmm. They're just going to announce that the market's going to come out under a different name and going to be funded by this coin swap / ICO, which is a little bit novel. They're basically saying that the swap is 1-to-1, but then people maybe attach a little Bitcoin to their ICO swap or to their swap address.
Okay.
And that Bitcoin donation gets them a bonus on the swap.
Okay. Huh.
So that's
interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of the AMP thing where they did like the second ICO as well. And it's weird. I don't know. It's not my favorite move, to be honest, but I can understand why they're going for it. They definitely didn't catch the most attention during this big wave, even though they did just have a big pump.
Right.
But then I think Dash obviously came along and upstaged them a little bit, and potentially maybe Zcash as well. And so they're trying to get the spotlight back. I get that. I don't know about the late ICO move, but I think it's an interesting choice, I guess.
So that swap will go until April 15th. And then they said it'll take them some time, several weeks after that to bring the new blockchain to fruition. So
it's nice.
Sounds like it's going to be quite a process.
What I'm into these days is the what NXT did for NXT 2.0, where they do the snapshot and then they keep the old chain alive. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, and I just hope people realize that it's not necessarily up to any one individual whether or not a chain stays alive.
Yeah, exactly. Someone could keep running
Or it could be up to
Shadow
one
Cash.
individual. It could be that simple as well.
Yeah,
if you want to keep it alive, just turn it on. So
theoretically, you'd think like it would just be up to the community, but in general, it's the exchange that makes that decision.
Oh well, yeah, there is that. That's a big part, I suppose.
So, yeah.
And for their one other interesting thing, it had always been more geared towards that dark market segment.
Yep.
And now it seems to me that with this change, they're moving more towards mainstream goods, which has its pluses and minuses, and its people that are for and against it as well.
Alrighty, that is the news with Shadow Cash. Next, pretty tough not to talk about Bitcoin Unlimited this week. It's like every single day there's a new development on this.
Yeah, it's really hard to know which parts to focus on or report on. It has been slowly gaining support from a strictly mining percentage perspective.
Yep.
Slowly but surely. And I think that's why it's kind of coming to a point where people are getting emotional because it starts to feel like this activation could occur at some point.
Yeah, I think it got real for people. Like, for the longest time, people just took it for granted that SegWit would get activated and kind of thought Bitcoin Unlimited was a joke. And now it turns out it's like, now SegWit is struggling to gain adoption, and it's, the miners are pushing for Bitcoin Unlimited, and people are starting to realize that, like, it could actually happen. So I think that's why it's really starting to get so emotional.
Yeah, and so the critics of Bitcoin Unlimited include a lot of really influential members of the Bitcoin core community. And so a lot of tension there, especially between the developers in a certain way, but then also, I think, in the lower levels of the user base like us, feeling like maybe you're obligated to choose a side.
Yeah.
And I don't think that obligation is real because we don't really have a say. It's the miners that get to decide this.
Right, and that's kind of the problem to begin with. Like, from what we're used to, all the people that we interact with, I guess, all the communities that we're exposed to on the regular basis are all super, super pro SegWit and super against Bitcoin Unlimited. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. But I think that just leads kind of to part of the confusion and some of the people getting upset that Bitcoin Unlimited is getting so much adoption from the miners. And there's a lot of speculation on why that is. There's a lot of transaction spamming and stuff that's going on.
Right.
And so from a miner's perspective, they go to SegWit and all of a sudden their mining fees go down. Like, that's not necessarily a win for them. Like, they don't, if you're a mining farm, you don't really lose because the transactions aren't processing, right? It'd be, theoretically, it'd be nice for them to be able to handle more transactions, but from where they're sitting, obviously the incentives on Bitcoin Unlimited are more appealing. And so we're seeing the miners drift towards that. And it points to an interesting, if not problem, just an interesting, like, fact, I guess, about the way that the chain works, is that ultimately the miners do have the say, and whatever the incentives are for them is probably how the system is going to end up working out in the long run. But like you said, where it really gets interesting is the fact that it doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin Core is going to lose or is going to go anywhere. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin Unlimited is going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they can just fork. Ethereum kind of paved the way for that.
Right. Yeah, and I think the overview there of just basically the two disagreeing sides, not even necessarily disagreeing on that Bitcoin has problems and something needs to be done, but just kind of disagreeing on that method of implementation, and Bitcoin Unlimited people kind of being told that they're careless or maybe even reckless.
And there's a lot of evidence to support that. They had the node exploit this week, which was hilarious,
right,
where they, like, half the nodes went down from a bug.
And then it seems that their only real argument back is that, no, we're not.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're not reckless.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. Ultimately, if they make a piece of technology that can do what they're talking about, everybody's going to get a share of Bitcoin Unlimited that holds Bitcoin, right?
Right, and some Bitfinex already started trading them this week, like the IOU tokens, essentially, where you can put some Bitcoin, and then they'll be like, okay, here's your Bitcoin Core, here's your Bitcoin Unlimited vouchers, now go trade those. And so that's creating a ton of opportunity. Like, as an altcoin person, you look at this and it's kind of exciting because, we saw, when Ethereum and ZClassic happened, created crazy volatility on those markets and a whole ton of just new opportunities and stuff.
Right.
And so from an altcoin perspective, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think as altcoin traders, we benefit a lot from Bitcoin being stable and functional. It's kind of like the backbone of the economics of the whole thing, being able to have the liquidity around Bitcoin that you can then underlies your ability to trade all these altcoins. And so I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm honestly not. I definitely would rather not even see the Bitcoin Unlimited fork happen, I think, but
right. Another little, like, piece in there. There's just a whole bunch of little pieces that are always popping up with this sort of thing. They released their governance structure.
Yeah, this is
either
funny.
Yesterday or today, and it's just seems really hard to implement and trust. They have a president that gets elected every year.
It's weird.
Other positions that have to be monitored and can be, discharged and have to be elected as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd find this whole Bitcoin Unlimited thing to be more believable if the product wasn't so like absurd. It seems like it's exactly, in so many ways, it's exactly the opposite of what everybody wants, and they're just pushing it really hard. This governance structure is an example of that. But then we're also seeing it still gaining so much adoption from the miners for whatever reasons. It's confusing.
Yeah. In the meantime as well, Poloniex released their own statement about what they would do in the case of a fork.
Right.
And they would grant the Bitcoin Unlimited to Bitcoin holders with the stipulation that there needs to be a, what do they call it, Brandon?
The replay attack. They got to have a protection against the replay attack, which I don't know exactly what that means, but it's something that was discovered when the Ethereum Classic split happened. The exchanges are saying there would need to be some protection against this before they would allow people to start trading both coins. But then that makes it even more confusing because Bitcoin Unlimited has come back and said, no, we're not going to do that. So, we're the only valid chain. So screw you.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's really makes you wonder. It would probably be pretty fun if the fork happened if we could all just get both coins, right? That would be sweet.
Yeah.
But for it to, how would it even work? Poloniex comes out with this statement that says, well, if you fix the replay attack, this is what's going to happen. And they're like, we're not going to fix the replay attack. What's Poloniex going to do? Are they just going to not?
Well, they made it clear that they're going to support the Bitcoin Core and allow withdrawals if they can do that as well with the Bitcoin Unlimited.
Would that stay true even if Bitcoin Unlimited got over 50% of the hash rate, I wonder?
Well, they can always reevaluate what they've said, I guess. But
yeah,
at least for now, I don't see that changing.
So yeah, really lots going on in Bitcoin Unlimited land. It really seems like the whole thing is kind of starting to come to a head. So it'll be fun to see, what actually happens, or scary, or who knows.
Definitely. Good modern day story. We also looked at a little Steem news this week.
Steem.
Dan Larimer, the head developer of Steem,
right?
Guess he quit.
He's done. He's gone. He left a final Steem It post. Saying farewell to the community, I guess, and I'm not sure. There wasn't really any explanation behind why he left. So there's obviously, without that, it's just going to be a lot of speculation. A lot of people were kind of salty about it. People saying that he abandoned the project and that kind of stuff. But yeah, who knows? It's an interesting.
The Steem price didn't seem to be too disturbed by that.
No, some people are celebrating like, oh, look, he's gone and the price is up. But that's not a great indicator because this is like one of the most bullish weeks for altcoins of all time. So you can't just be like, oh, the price went up. It's reaction to this news when it's, the markets are this crazy. But
yeah, definitely. That's a good point.
We tried to get some of our Steem cashed out today. We couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, we've been divesting for a good year now. So we have a little bit of a chunk of Steem on the website that we were trying to withdraw, and we hit a real nice graphene related error. So didn't go down that rabbit hole too far. But I suppose the next logical step would be to put in a support ticket to Steem or something.
We will get those Steem one way or the other. So yeah, that's what's going down in Steem land. Another news, just a funny bit out of China this week. The PBOC issued a guidance that the exchanges are no longer to call themselves exchanges.
Okay. So is it just like a new Chinese word we need to use?
It's sad. I remember seeing this, but I couldn't find the article again when I tried to look for it. But I think they just have to call themselves like trading platforms or something.
Some really weird, subtle distinction, huh?
Yeah, exactly. They don't want them to imply, I think, that they're actually trading yuan or something, or that Bitcoin is a currency.
But here we are with China with just a small little sentence at the end of the news. It wasn't that way a little bit ago.
Yeah, I know. Since the ETF thing, China news has fallen to the wayside a little bit, but we might be seeing that change. Their volume has been way down, and everybody's noticed that, but they've also had all these restrictions. The withdrawals and stuff are restricted. I'm curious to see, are those market makers going to come back after all this settles down, or are they like permanently moved on to Finex or wherever else? I don't know.
I think that is most of the news.
Yep, that's going to cover it for the normal news. Next, we're going to jump into the markets. Just a really ridiculous amount to talk about in the markets this week.
Yeah, I mean, always just astounded by what's going on out there. Bitcoin
is down 12.6% this week.
Yeah. There were points where it was up.
It feels like it's up because it was like $900 for a little while, but we're chilling at like 1050 right now. But yeah, the start of the week, it was like still in the 1200s.
Yeah, that was the nice time.
Those were good times. But we still are up at 1050 again. It's hard to say. It doesn't feel like the end of the pump to me. Like I'm used to kind of that huge red death candle, and this didn't feel like it. But when we're this far into like a huge bull cycle, it's possible that we won't just see that huge singular red death candle. They might be able to drag it out a little longer, or maybe the top hasn't hit yet.
Yeah, man. I wish I had any idea. I keep, like I've mentioned a few times, and even if I'm going to trade Bitcoin, I'm going to have to find a place to short it at this point, basically,
right?
For Bitcoin USD, and never quite find that spot. So I always wait for it to I want it to gain just an absurd amount in like 10 minutes, and then just tell me that it's ready.
I don't know. That's not so easy though. See, like I don't really have a good framework for trading Bitcoin USD. I tried to trade it a little bit in 2015 when alts were incredibly boring, but I never was as good at it.
Yeah, I find the alts much simpler to trade a lot of the time.
Yeah, I feel like unless you're like running out of money to trade, like you're hitting the edges of the liquidity that a lot of these alts can provide, then you might as well just trade alts because the risk reward is a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the backdrop is Bitcoin down 12.6% this week. But
to a measly 1050.
Yeah, to a mere $1,000. Ethereum this week is up a preposterous 125%. And that's after cooling off majorly from its all-time high.
Incredible.
I don't remember. Do you remember what the actual high was this week?
No.
Oh, gotta find it. It was ridiculous. I never thought I'd see the day that I figured Ethereum, okay, it's $1 billion market cap coin. Sure, it might pump, but it's going to take a while. And it seemed like even in the first pump, like last year when it was really pumping, it never moved anywhere as close to as fast as it did this week. Just unbelievable to see.
It's really something to behold. Yeah, it just sort of blazed right through all the resistance, and
the high was 0.0474.
Nice.
So like $50. That's insane.
I mean, it's no Dash. Dash was a nice $110 at some point, I think, or something like that.
That's true. Yep, Dash also continued to go up this week. Dash going up, it almost like feels like old news at this point. Like we're getting used to it. It's like, oh, another week. Another parabolic uptrend for Dash.
Yep, Dash up another 58%.
Yep, 58% this week, which is ridiculous.
Pretty high.
We also had all of the Stealth and Anon coins pumped.
Yeah.
XMR, Zcash, finally might have actually hit the floor.
Wow. Yeah.
I missed it. I was really, I was waiting for I wanted to see that really desperate moment of where everybody gives up.
Right.
The huge red candle. And it just never happened, or maybe I just wasn't looking closely enough. But
XMR actually hit an all-time high as well.
Did they? Nice. And PivX.
And PivX way up.
Yeah, PivX, I was looking at it. They're at 16 million market cap right now on PivX. That is we've been tracking, since the start of the show, we've been tracking kind of what the most successful IPO coins are, what the most successful normal coins are. And PivX is now by far the highest market cap of any coin that came out that was just like a normal mining type coin.
Right.
Chilling at 16 million. That's ahead of Pascal by a long shot, which I think kind of had set the benchmark before. So, and it's not happening on Poloniex. That's all going down on T-Rex and Cryptopia.
Amazing.
It's hard to believe.
It is.
So yeah, a really good week for all of those coins.
Yeah, and that's really just a snapshot of some of the big ones too, because the whole entire altcoin market was growing a lot of the week.
Yeah, we like to take a look at it just kind of by the general numbers. We looked at the top 100 coins this week. Of those, 70 out of 100 made gains versus USD, and 85 out of 100 made gains versus Bitcoin. So that's basically the best
most
numbers.
of them. Yep. Yeah.
It would be hard to have picked a coin that didn't go up this week.
Right.
At least if you're looking at high caps, top 100 type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And going by the change in the market cap, the top 100 coins, they're up 61% this week against USD. If you take ETH out of the picture, they're still up 27%, which is that's the biggest single week gain we've seen since we started tracking these. So that's huge.
Man.
If we take a look at it versus Bitcoin, we got up 83%, or that's with Ethereum. And then without Ethereum, the top 100 coins are still up 45% against Bitcoin. So some huge numbers there.
Just unprecedented, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. It's like it's tough to lose when it's like this. You know, you could just throw a dart at the wall and you're probably going to come up ahead.
Yeah, just throw 3 of them and then you'd be really good.
Exactly. I've been trying to switch it up like that. I used to, for the longest time, I only traded coins that were like new coins or coins that I had been following since they launched, and that worked really well for a long time, especially like starting out in 2014 or whatever. But eventually, the new coin scene kind of tailed off. And there's also a problem of, like, there's a limit to the amount of money that you can put into any coin when you're playing that way. It's not like, you know, with Ethereum, you can throw 100 Bitcoins into Ethereum or whatever. With new caps or with new coins and small caps, oftentimes it's difficult to get more than 1 to 2 Bitcoins into a coin. And so you're...
Even harder to get it out.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and the risk, you know, that you have the chance of losing it all every time. And so I've been trying to start playing high caps more, I guess. Especially after Pascal, I kind of realized, like, okay, I had a good win here, but I can't just reinvest all this money into new coins and small caps. I'm going to have to start messing around with high caps. And so I bought just like a random spread. I'm kind of trying to do a more broad-based portfolio type strategy.
Right.
And obviously I'm happy about it this week. You know, it kind of all started to pay off. I was stressed out for a while, especially when Bitcoin was doing its all-time highs. But yeah, it's turned around, so I'm really stoked.
Nice, yeah. Well, having ETH go up that much is just big for the whole market, too.
Yeah, exactly. We had been wondering, like, for the past few weeks, like, is Ethereum going to be the coin that leads the way in 2017? Or is it potentially going to be, you know, Dash obviously has made a huge showing, and some other coins, and we've been speculating about it for a while. And I think this week the Ethereum market maker really kind of showed everybody that they're still top dog. There's some other cool stuff in here. I love these stats, and because the numbers are so ridiculous this week, I like all of them. We have a median gain of 28%. So in the top 100 coins, the median coin gained 28%, also by far the biggest we've ever seen. Usually that number's weighted pretty low because on any given week when the average goes up, it's usually like 1 to 2 coins that will pump huge and then drag the average up, while the average coin will still kind of go down. This week we had the median up there at 28%, which is huge. We also had another new all-time high for alts of 6.8 billion, which for perspective, that's up 2.5 billion just from last week. So we were looking at 4.3 billion last week. Just it's hard to even comprehend the numbers at this point. Like,
yeah,
unbelievable.
That's really amazing. I was watching Not So Fast is doing a good job tweeting certain milestones with that number. And it's just like he has to keep tweeting them faster and faster because the milestones keep getting hit.
Yep. Another one of those milestones is Bitcoin dominance. That hit a new all-time low down to 71.6%. But more interesting for me, I think, is this ETH dominance stat we've been looking at of just, like, what is the percentage of the overall market that is, of the altcoin market is Ethereum. This week it jumped up to 59.7%. That's up almost 12% from last week.
Man.
Which, so just blew past 50%. When we first started tracking this just a few weeks ago, the Ethereum dominance was like 35%. And so for it to shoot up to 60% now, it's crazy. It's almost hard to even call Ethereum an altcoin at this point. Like, at what point do you say, there's Bitcoin and altcoins, and then at what point do you say, okay, actually it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then altcoins? Obviously it's a arbitrary distinction, but I'm curious to see if people will start to think of Ethereum like completely as its own thing if this pump continues like this.
Well, I mean, it's not, if it's strictly just based on the market cap, then I guess maybe that could happen eventually, yeah. But, like, the price of the coin itself, Dash is worth more.
Yeah, but the price of the coin we all know why that is a misleading indicator, right? Dash, of course, the price is more, but it has a way smaller supply.
Yeah. I'm just not sure. I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom of how they would be not altcoins. And I guess it would be because of that market cap. If it definitely if it exceeded Bitcoin's maybe, but it would still be an altcoin. It would just be an altcoin with a really big market cap.
What if it did? Like, what if Ethereum hits 15 billion or whatever? You know, at that point, it'll be like 92% of the altcoin market. If Ethereum becomes that big a share of the market, then you can't really, any indicator that you have that you would use to judge altcoins, you'd really just be talking about Ethereum, right? If Ethereum's already you can see it, right? Ethereum is 60% of the altcoin market. When you say on a given week, oh, alts did good this week or alts did bad, what you really mean is that Ethereum did good because it's the biggest driver of those numbers. In general, you can get a divergence, but as the relative value of Ethereum goes up, then it just becomes a bigger and bigger effect. So yeah, that's Ethereum. It's killing it.
We got some specific gainers and losers on the altcoin markets this week as well. On the gainer side, up 352%. PivX.
PivX, number one coin this week, up 350. That's just unbelievable.
That's pretty big.
We missed it.
Yep, NovaCoin up 249%.
Old coin killing it. I think a lot of people have been looking at PureCoin to be the coin that is going to do the best of the old coins. And PureCoin has been doing good. But NovaCoin's coming out of nowhere. I think I definitely would not have. I looked at PureCoin when all the alts were down and thought about buying it. I never pulled the trigger, but NovaCoin wasn't even on my radar. We also had Steem up 210% this week, and ZClassic up 175%, so that's cool.
Nice. Of course, there's also some losers this week. PutinCoin down 40%, Internet of People down 35%, CloakCoin down 24%, and Melon getting a sweet Bittrex listing entrance at -20%.
Yeah, one thing I noticed this week, look at PutinCoin going down 40%. A lot of the huge volume and the huge pumps this week were restricted to Poloniex and Bittrex, interestingly. Bittrex's volume was way, way up from what they're used to. Still a small fraction of Polos, but just definitely a lot more trading than we're used to. We didn't see that same huge spike in volume extend to the smaller exchanges like Yobit. Cryptopia did see a spike, but it wasn't order of magnitude like on Bittrex.
Right.
And we also didn't see the same kind of pumps. There weren't really a bunch of huge pumps on Yobit or Cryptopia that would have really caught anyone's attention. And I think that's interesting. We also noticed, a month ago when Bitcoin was spiking and altcoins were, still way, way down. We noticed that also tended not to be reflected as much in the small coins.
Yeah.
They just kind of they're in their own world. It seems like there's the high caps, Ethereum, and then there's kind of the mid caps kind of tend to follow what the high caps are doing, and then the small caps are just off on their own.
Right. And those are the ones, the mid cap ones seem to follow their USDs closer too. I feel like we saw today when Bitcoin had its it was
that quick spike.
Yeah, that quick spike, and it seemed like they all reacted almost simultaneously to us.
Yeah, we joked because we were watching the Polo prices, and then we looked up again, and it's like, oh shit, all of our coins just went down 5%, and then it's like, oh, that probably means Bitcoin went up, and then you check, and sure enough, there was a $50 spike on Bitcoin. So interesting to see how that all shakes out.
Yep.
And that is going to do it for the markets this week.
Woo! Good week. Loved it.
That's so
fun stuff. Another fun stuff, we're going to give away some DOT.
We're doing the DOT giveaway.
So the way that this works, if you're new here, is we give away the DOT to the first person to tweet at Chain Dynamics with the answer to the question.
That's right, and the question this week is, what is the first coin to receive a Proof of Developer certification from Crypto Asian?
That's right. And the prize is 20,000 DOT.
That's right. You're just going to send the answer to that question to @ChainDynamics on Twitter, and we will send you that 20,000 DOT. Once again, the question there, What was the first coin to receive a proof of developer certification from Crypto Asian?
Cool.
Love that POD. We talked about it a bit last week, but that just came to mind
Yeah.
again. It's funny.
Good question, man.
Alrighty. Next up this week, we're going to take a second look.
Second look. We're going to take a second look at Dashcoin.
That's right, TweakCoin.
This is a coin from the developer Stay Secure.
Yep.
And he contacted us and asked us to take a look at his coins.
That's right. We love it when people get a hold of us and give us coins to talk about. And so we were really happy to hear from him about this one. Honestly, I'm glad he recommended it. TweakCoin, it's definitely a coin that would be under your radar when you first hear about it. It came out in October of 2016, just as a no pre-mine, as a proof of work coin in 2016, and it's dedicated to one of his children.
Yeah, and it's not the first personalized blockchain. He actually, that's sort of almost a theme for him.
Yep.
The idea of dedicating a blockchain to a family member. We've seen that, of course, with LisaCoin.
Right, originally LisaCoin.
Right, from that the Neos developer, right?
Yep, Syntax or Two Turtles.
Yeah. So that theme is there. The emission is super slow, and the eventual coin total is fairly high. So there's going to be Taj getting created through proof of work for quite a while.
Yep, definitely.
I noticed that.
It's interesting. It's an interesting theme for me. I like the idea of niche blockchains, and this is getting into something that's like ultra niche, about as niche as it could be. It's like a blockchain dedicated to one person. Like you said, the first one that kind of pioneered this was LisaCoin, which eventually became LisaCoin. So that's kind of, they completely rebranded away from the purpose of it there.
Right.
And that was kind of all based around the economics of the Poloniex market at the time, I think. And so I'm interested to watch this now, see this idea kind of get another chance. That's one of the cool things about blockchains is there's no, just because a blockchain isn't going to become $1 billion blockchain doesn't mean that you can have, it's not a valid purpose for a blockchain, especially for simpler, like older school style blockchains. Really, the smaller niche you can look for, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, I know what you mean. I've just always thought it's a really nice idea if it was possible to be the type of like savings account for a child that maybe I'm dreaming that it could be.
Yeah.
I just think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but it doesn't make sense in terms of someone has to be, in order for them to cash out the savings account, somebody has to be willing to buy the coins.
Right.
And then that person owns the coins, and it's no longer a savings account, and then it's just a coin, right? And so that's where it's interesting. That's where I'm curious to see how the idea fleshes out in the long term, because you can make a coin for somebody, but ultimately a blockchain is a blockchain, and anyone can buy the coins and anyone can mine it. You can't just keep control of a blockchain like that, even on such a small scale like this.
True.
But as far as the coin goes, there's a couple cool things that he's working on. He's building an Electrum implementation, which I think is dope. Honestly, I wish more developers would do that. I don't know why they don't. Like, I would think that would be like a standard roadmap item for a lot of these coins. It's like, yes, ding, Electrum, please.
Nice, that is a good feature.
Also, he's integrating it into, is that Coinami?
Yeah, it's sort of like a custom Coinami wallet, because Coinami is open source, so you can kind of make your own Coinami wallet, I think, with your coins in it, and I think that's what he's done.
Yeah, I like this too, getting into the ultra niche thing. If you can use online wallets or kind of front-end interfaces to integrate all of your different kind of niche coins, that's one of the missing steps to making the whole thing work, right? You have to be able to efficiently transact and interact with them. So having the multi-wallet approach, I think is pretty dope.
Cool.
And let's see. As far as the markets here, they are on Cryptopia. And again, keeping on the niche theme, it's an ultra low cap. If you go back to just the beginning of January, you're looking at like a $600 market cap, which is also interesting for me because one of the things that I like to watch is kind of what is the lower limit for a market cap just on a regular blockchain. We talked about it last week with PutinCoin, but it's one of the things I like to keep an eye on because there's definitely a lower limit. We never see a coin-on-coin market cap with less than $100 market cap, right?
Very rarely.
So the limit is incredibly low, but there is a limit to it. Like at some point, somebody is just like, all right, I'll buy them.
Right.
You know, I'll buy the whole chain at that price. I don't care.
Yeah.
And you'll always see that. And I've also noticed that the value of that kind of floor tends to spike relative to overall market conditions. And you can kind of use it as an indicator in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the funny things that I've noticed here on Taj is that at the beginning of the year they were chilling at 650. Now they're chilling at 2,000. And so it's a small increase, but it points to how healthy the overall markets are, right?
Right. So it's experiencing the growth with the altcoin market, it seems like.
Exactly. And so it also means when you're looking at new coins or thinking about it, any new coin that's developed with like any kind of legitimate purpose, you know, you can kind of see how the floor develops. And it also can open up some opportunities too. This is what, if you've ever looked at the LisaCoin chart, that's exactly what it looked like too. And that tends to be the case with a lot of these ultra niche blockchains, is they will trade towards the lower end of what you would consider that floor to be. But that can also be a zone of opportunity for people who do like rebranding and stuff.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's a whole nother world. Like so many of these different segments, I think you were mentioning earlier, of the altcoin world.
Yep. Alrighty, and that was Dashcoin.
Little second look.
Alrighty, for our next segment, we are going to do something called the rolling review.
Yeah, we like to keep track of some newer-ish coins on their way to becoming maybe more well-established coins, or just kind of pushed off the list because they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, the whole idea of this is we're trying to keep track of the coins from when they launch to when they kind of become established on exchange or have their communities established and stuff. Because that's usually that's the easiest time to lose touch with a coin, I think.
Yeah, and even with our best efforts, there's plenty we still lose touch with.
It's true.
But on the review this week,
I'm going to start it off with LunaCoin. So LunaCoin, it was kind of falling off of our radar. It had a super high volume pump right off the bat.
Yes.
And I've been trying to understand what this coin is about ever since, and it's continued to flummox me.
Flummox.
Yeah, I'm flummoxed. This week it got on Yobit and then did a little flash pump and then dumped again right back down to where it was before, so nothing spectacular there. And one of the somebody who was involved in the project essentially said that it is dead.
Nah, I'm not surprised. You know, I'm kind of bored with it. I felt like it was exciting at first because of the high volume and the good mining conditions, but when that kind of rapidly dissipated, I was hoping maybe a little comeback, but nothing there.
Well, they had this web portal thing too, so for a little while it looked like they were putting all the pieces together and might actually be trying for something bigger, but the web portal's gone. They say it got hacked, who knows? But it's gone, everything's gone, so.
It's all gone.
Yeah, it's done. We are taking LunaCoin off the review.
See ya.
It's gone, goodbye.
Okay. The next coin on the rolling review is HideCoin.
HideCoin. This is a really nice little sleeper coin that we've been watching for a while.
Yep.
It's a ground-up cryptocurrency built in Node.js. Really bare bones right now.
Yeah, super bare bones.
But it's a lot of fun. We like coins like that. And this week he released a nice little Windows miner.
And just pool mining in general came out this week, too.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, there was no pool mining before, so now it's out. The Windows miner, it's a little buggy for us. We haven't been able to get it to stay running for any length of time. But
yeah, just those first 5 seconds or 3 minutes.
But to his credit, this guy's been releasing updates like constantly, so
it might get fixed soon.
Yep. That's HideCoin.
And then Zero.
This is another Zcash clone that launched recently.
I like it. Partially just because I can actually separate it from the other coins easier. It's just called Zero.
I really failed to take advantage of ZClassic or Zcoin. I got a little bit of Zcoin, but I felt like I missed the boat on both of those a little bit. And so I'm happy to see that Zero is doing, kind of getting some attention. ZClassic has taken a totally different turn. They're swapping over to the Zencash thing.
Right.
They're bringing back their rewards, or they're doing a pre-mine or something. So now Zero's kind of actually kind of had this niche fall into its lap now, where it's the only Zcash clone that doesn't have the founder's rewards, right? So I would think the there might be some interest there from kind of the originalist types or the super into decentralization crowd. And so that'll give them a little bit of a niche. I've noticed some of the Twitter people got on it this week, which oftentimes their time frames are really short. Like they'll talk about a coin and you think they're talking about like the month time frame, but they're talking about like 2
tomorrow.
days. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you never know what that means, but honestly, I'm really interested in the market. It's a lot harder to get coins on Cryptopia these days. Like back when Pascal, before Pascal got big or whatever.
Right.
It felt like you had time to just like chill on Cryptopia and people would dump their coins because they thought it was the best.
Yeah, it was a great place to accumulate back then.
Yeah, people are a lot pickier these days. I've been trying to get zero and it's like, it's not that easy. Nobody's selling, but yeah, I was able to catch a couple dips. So I'm stoked on zero right now.
Cool. We'll keep an eye on that one then. One that had been on the rolling review was WhoopCoin. I was going to be a Juggalo-themed coin that was going to come out basically this week. And you know what? It didn't come out.
Yep, WhoopCoin. It's toast.
Failed launch.
He decided he didn't like the optics. He didn't want the developers like, I don't want to be making an anon coin for Juggalos.
Yeah.
Which, come on, man. You gotta stick to your guns.
Yeah, okay.
But whatever, everyone's got their own reasons. You can't really...
No.
You can't blame someone for not wanting to be a crypto developer because it's a pretty thankless job usually.
Yep. So close yet so far.
So, yep, that's it for WhoopCoin. It's going to be heading off the review this week as well.
Still on the review this week is Pascal Lite.
So this is another coin. Going back to what I was saying about Cryptopia, I was really hoping that I would have a chance to stack up some of these things after I got listed because I wasn't able to mine any. But my bids got blown away like immediately. I couldn't. The market ran away from my bids at a very fast pace. Really surprised with how well this is trading, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a Pascal clone with slightly more difficult mining specs, slower rewards and longer blocks, or lower rewards and longer blocks. So you'd kind of expect it to trade. I was kind of expecting it to trade like between 10 to 20% of Pascal's price, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been outperforming that pretty substantially. So
wow,
I'm curious to see. It's still really new. When Pascal got listed, it had been, people had been mining it for months, and there was a lot of people who were kind of ready to sell by that point. Whereas Pascal Lite is newer, so you would expect, with more supply constriction, you might see kind of a higher early price. But definitely trading above where I was expecting. I'll keep an eye on it.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting. I see OC Miner posting on the last page here. I don't know if he's setting up a pool or what, but that's always a sign to me.
Yeah, the nice thing about Pascal Lite is that it's just kind of a straightforward clone. Everyone involved has been really honest about the nature of it, and it's not like Anon. It's a guy who's been in the community for a while, so I was happy to see that too.
There's also Renos on our list.
That's right, Renos Coin. It was a recent airdrop coin that we're keeping track of.
And that's over on Topia as well.
This one's looking good too, man. It's Cryptopia listed. The price has been really quite steady. They're doing a logo contest thing this week. Honestly, they're kind of checking all the boxes. I've kind of said in the past that this coin follows a pattern for airdrop coins that I've been noticing, and this one's starting to break out of the pattern a little bit in terms of it's retaining its interest and price a lot longer. So it could just be the timing of the market. The people behind it are seeing that there's an opportunity here. But one way or another, they are still retaining a lot of interest, and I think it's looking good.
Interesting.
And that's going to do it. That's it for our rolling review coins this week.
Yep, we'll keep track of those and a handful of other coins going forward.
Yeah, we have a few coins that we skip every week so that it doesn't, we're not just talking about every coin every week.
And the next segment is new coins.
That's right. We're going to move into the new coins. You got to keep up with those new coins, especially when the markets are as crazy as they have been.
And at the top of the new proof of work, proof of stake coins is VGina.
That's right. That's VGina coin. Not quite vagina, but...
Oh, VGina.
That's what they're going for. Allegedly, it's a coin for buying erotic accessories. But it's actually just a wallet builder's big pre-mine kind of crap coin.
Mm-hmm. Another coin this week. Milo Coin.
Milo Coin. This one is named after the alt-right agitator Milo Yiannopoulos.
And doesn't have the worst specs of the week, I guess.
No, interestingly, this is probably better than some of the celebrity type or political figure coins that have been launched recently, at least as far as the specs go, and at least as far as the amount of effort they're putting into it. One funny thing here that's new is they have a fund waiting for Milo himself to try to get him to claim them, so that's funny. But
oh, nice.
There's a lot of things not to like here. It's got a misleading pre-mine where they try to kind of make it sound like it's smaller than it actually is. The fraction of the pre-mine that is dedicated for this fund to try and get this guy to acknowledge the coin or whatever is really small compared to the actual pre-mine. And so, combined with the other specs, I'm skeptical.
So are they're trying to hook him up with like a $5 bill or something?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we made this coin for you. We're going to give you 10% of the pre-mine. It's like, what about the other 90%? So yeah, makes you wonder, but that is Milo Coin. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one doing the Yobit CCX rounds.
There's also Wilder's Coin.
Yep, another politician coin. The second coin named after Geert Wilders.
This one just has an absurd pre-mine.
Yeah, ridiculous unannounced pre-mine. So
yeah,
lame.
There's also Scrypt out there.
Yep, Dashcoin Scrypt.
I guess no better time than the present, right? Like
right. Dashcoin is a Litecoin clone that added X11, and so they've now taken it back to Scrypt, I guess.
And taken out the master nodes as well.
And taken out all of the distinguishing features that make it good. It's just a wallet builder's Yobit type situation. Yep. Not a good coin.
But they were followed up by LisaCoin this week.
LisaCoin also came out. I didn't know what I was expecting this to be, but apparently it's based on the Simpsons character.
Yeah, we really didn't expect to see Lisa Simpson at the top of that
page. She was. Odd choice, but
yeah, that just can't go anywhere, obviously. So either a really brilliant rebrand coming up or a real shit coin.
It's a high pre-mine. It fits the profile of the type of coins that you're not going to see again. We also had Brilliant Coin this week. This kind of also fits the profile of something you're not going to see again. It's got a really confusing but generic description of what Bitcoin does as the futures. And it's really just a high pre-mine script clone.
I guess I don't have much to say about that one personally. Same.
And that's Brilliant Coin.
Yeah. Solaris Coin was also out there.
Solaris Coin, another high pre-mine misleading coin thread. Sad.
That'll happen.
They're really trying to come up with ways to have high pre-mines but not just get called out for it immediately, and they're kind of running out of ideas. They're leaning more heavily on like the super. They'll call it a low pre-mine, but there's going to be a ton of blocks, so it works out to be a large pre-mine. But
yeah.
People have kind of gotten wise to that too at this point. So
it's tough out there.
it's tough as a shitcoin dev. I'd like to see a return to exploits. I like those. Creative wallet exploits.
Yeah, but not if it's in the. I don't like exploited code. I like something more like an airdrop that gets sent out to a million people in 5 seconds.
Oh, you're talking about a scam airdrop? That's good. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, because then that's fair.
You at least had a chance, right?
Sure. TweakCoin
also came out this week. This is a really generic script coin, but at least it doesn't have a pre-mine.
Yeah, no pre-mine. That's something that I guess we can't say about really any of these other coins at this point this week, right?
No, they all kind of suck. I'm not like totally against pre-mines like in general. I'm not like an anti-pre-mine zealot or anything.
Right.
But what really makes these coins bad is that there's a huge pre-mine and there's no like purpose for it, Like if you're going to have a pre-mine, you can do something like Zcash with the developers fund. You could even do something like a ParkByte, right? It's got a huge pre-mine, but the addresses are public and ostensibly there's a purpose for it. When it's just like, hi, this is a Bitcoin clone, here's a 20% pre-mine, it's pointless. At that point, if the thing you're trying to develop, if you don't already have some kind of unique or interesting future to sell somebody, then there's no point in having the pre-mine. Like, if what you're trying to build is down the road, then in general, I would prefer the no pre-mine route. But if you actually have like a product ready or something cool in the pipeline, then sure, put a pre-mine on it. If you have something to sell, people will buy it regardless.
Yeah. I think that makes a little bit too much sense for this industry.
for the world of crypto.
The last proof of work, proof of stake coin this week is GiottoCoin.
GiottoCoin. Same story, just a big pre-mine clone.
Yep, basically. They got the format right. They got it centered, my favorite part. So I'll give them that.
They did the formatting on the post
there's
correctly.
nothing else there.
That's funny. Yeah, not even. Usually, there's a couple of funny coins that are at least like worth a laugh, but not so much this week. We have that was the proof of work category. Next, we're going to jump into the other category.
Yeah, there's only one coin in this category this week, and it's called AtCoin.
AtCoin. This is a Waves asset, and they're
building but I guess they're comparing it to Steem.
Yep.
So they have some pictures that would also make it seem like Steem. They did lock the thread, which is really weird, but
yeah, this post actually looks a lot like this first post for Steem did.
Yeah.
Just really basic. But instead of when Steem came out, at least it was like a proof of work that you could mine. This is a Waves asset that you can get on the Waves Asset Exchange. I didn't really know that was up and running to the extent that it is, but apparently so.
Yeah. Might have to check that out and just go a little deeper into this one. It'd be a fun one to take a little deeper look at.
That is AtCoin.
AtCoin.
Next, we're going to just walk through the ICOs. We don't really like to dwell on ICOs that are still in progress.
That's right, because we'll see you when we see you.
But as far as the coins the ICOs that did get announced this week, they are called Will Channels, Smart Play, ChatCoin, Marijuanium, Cannons, BCAP, Air, DasCoin, and ZRCoin.
I really wish that was Zoctor, like
Zoctor.
Yeah,
Nice,
like DR.
No, I think it's named after the element zirconium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. So looking back through the new coin announcements this week,
pretty weak list of new coins this week, man.
The only one without the pre-mine was TweakCoin.
Yep, and that's not much else going for it.
It doesn't really have much going for it. Yeah.
Of all these coins this week, you're going to hear the most about. The ICOs are going to do what they're going to do, but as far as the other coins, Milo Coin will probably show up on the small exchanges, and we'll hear about it for a while, but it's not going to be the kind of coin that breaks through or anything.
LisaCoin will make it to Yobit?
Maybe.
Or not.
Any of these coins could make it to Yobit. I kind of wonder, if I was this guy that just released the high pre-mine script clones over and over again, I kind of have to wonder what controls them getting on Yobit. Do they know the guy? Are they just firing the 0.1 BTC for every single one of them, hoping that they get listed? I don't know what the economics are, to be honest.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, that'll do it for the new coins this week. And next we're going to jump into the listings.
Yeah, we always like to keep track of what coins are getting put on the exchanges as best that we can.
Nothing from Supernova this week as far as pool listings, but as far as the exchange listings go, Cryptopia, they listed a bunch. We want to thank Cryptobi1. That's on Twitter at Crypt0B1 for letting us use his shitcoin notify and altcoin notify services. If you haven't checked these out yet, they're Twitter accounts that basically will watch the exchange interface and tell you when coins get added. It's sweet.
Yep. Very convenient and helpful. So over on Cryptopia this week, you will find NicsNacs, TrollPayCoin, Mojo, Geert, Pascal Lite, BankCoin, MusicCoin, Ubiq, and Safex.
Some pretty high-profile listings here. Ubiq's probably the biggest, but also interested to see Pascal Lite show up too.
Safex as well for me.
Oh yeah, and Safe Exchange Coin. Yep.
That used to be SEC.
Okay, that's right. They did a ticker rebrand. So if you were looking for SEC, Safe Exchange Coin, it's now called Safex.
And then over on Bittrex, they listed Melon. We talked. I mean, it was one of the ICOs that we kind of skimmed over at some point.
It's funny. It's funny at this point.
There it is. It's happening.
You know, it's funny. We had a conversation with Hex last week about this, and he made a very good case for their model of just doing the paid listings because as an exchange operator, it's difficult to be in the business of, you can't judge the coins. You can't actually get into the weeds on all these coins that come out. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. So I was kind of thinking about what I actually think Bittrex should be doing. And I've decided that at the very least, they should just list the high-volume coins from, like, Polo and stuff. Like, get some Golem on there, get some Pascal, round out their listings at least. But
I can understand where you're coming from. I guess they just aren't feeling it.
They're just doing it. They added Melon.
And then over on Novaexchange... Oh, I'm sorry. Yobit came next here.
Can't forget Yobit, man.
I almost did. But I wouldn't want to forget that they listed Arctic, Melite, Luna, and Stalin coin.
That's right.
Then over on Novaexchange, they listed DanceCoin, VirtaCoinPlus, and Luminosity coin.
Man, I think that Luminosity came out a while ago.
And then over on LiveCoin, they listed DragonCoin, Incent, the VGina, Real Point Coin, and the Chief Coin.
That's funny. This is a funny ass list from LiveCoin. I really LiveCoin.
You didn't expect to see VGina showing up there.
I didn't expect it. I also didn't expect to see the Chief Coin on there.
Yeah.
I was really digging LiveCoin for a while. Like, seemed like they were doing a lot of really smart ads and doing a really good job of building up their volume. But I'm starting to think they're taking it too far in the Yobit direction at this point. Like,
maybe dial it back just one step.
Take it a little more in the Cryptopia direction. A little less in the Yobit direction, guys. Because for a while it looked like LiveCoin might be the one to start taking a lot of the attention from Bittrex.
Yeah,
and
there was that point.
And I'm curious to see if they'll get back to that level.
So, looking back through the listings this week, Cryptopia's got a bunch of cool ones, like you mentioned. Safe Exchange pops out at me, and Ubiq.
Yeah, that's it for me. I honestly have not been doing a lot of trading on Yobit anymore. I used to, at least have my collection of Yobit shitcoins that I could play around with, but lately it's not as fun there. And especially, like this week, like we mentioned, the Poloniex and Bittrex went crazy, but that didn't really extend down to the Yobit sphere.
All right.
And that'll do it for the listings this week.
It's going to have to, because it's time for the coin birthdays.
That's right. We always like to wrap it up with the coin birthdays. It's fun now to do these now that we've been doing it for more than a year, because we can look back at go a year back and be like, see what those birthdays were.
Yeah, and there's ones that don't make it this far. We actually had really low to no standards for the birthday at the very beginning. So
that's true.
As it got more established, like you needed a block explorer that had a block number 1 on a particular day, it became easier to decide whether it was somebody's birthday or not, I guess.
Yeah, and there has to be some kind of standard to it.
So this week we have a 1-year birthday for PutinCoin.
That's right. PutinCoin came out a year ago. A really cool idea for another niche coin.
Yeah.
Just a token for a bulletin board.
Yep, and the bulletin board no longer exists, and the token still does.
Right, the bulletin board is gone, the token remains. So I guess, blockchains are resilient. It also got forked or swapped or something.
Oh, yeah, that was really funny. I can't even remember the name of the other one.
XAB, the altcoin board.
Yeah, which was a much less interesting board than the first one. And then
in my understanding, it was something of a hostile takeover too. They just somebody just did a swap. It was like, I'm swapping these.
Yeah, and then there was a guy with the first one that was doing a really bizarre nautical themed membership link
thing.
Right,
yeah, you could be like an admiral or something.
It was all very it started at Swap Boy or something like that, swapping the deck.
At one point they had a pump going on LiveCoin, but must not have held up.
I don't know how live they are now, but they definitely seem to qualify for the 1-year birthday by my calculations.
And is a happy birthday to PutinCoin.
And then GameBet also has a 1-year.
GameBet, nice.
That is 3/18/2016. I think I forgot to say PutinCoin was 3/17/2016.
That's one of the big. There was a shitload of IPOs coming around around that time last year, because that's when Ethereum really started taking off. And GameBet is one of the few that actually kind of has survived the test of time. So congratulations to them. Happy birthday.
Happy first year.
Alrighty, I think that is going to do it. That has been show number 55 here at Blockchain Dynamics.
Yes, indeed. As usual, brought to you by Cryptopia.co.nz.
That's right. Don't forget to check out Cryptopia. Head on over to our thread there in the altcoin section. We're sticking it up there. Drop by, say hi, give us a suggestion or something, and we will throw you some of those dots.
And somebody just got
Did they?
it. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep. There was one person that got it wrong, and now somebody just got it. So.
Oh man, I thought we were gonna get away with it.
The answer was global denomination coin.
That's right. The first coin to get the crypto Asian proof of developer was global denomination coin.
So congratulations, good job. I'll send you your dots here momentarily.
That coin, of course, is completely defunct now, but.
So
check out the website too.
Yeah, blockchaindynamics.net, show number 55, Error by Trial Radio. We'll see you next week with heavier bags. Peace.
Peace.